The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vows to boosting the country's education sector and promote sustainable development. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, refutes the claim of former Congressman Arnie Teves's lawyer that they still have the option of seeking political asylum to evade extradition. A lawmaker believes the fingerprint match result of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, is a solid evidence against suspended Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo. And we will discover why Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu suggested that there remains the possibility of a prolonged campaign while the intense phase of conflict in Gaza may be coming to a close. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harleen Delgado. First in the news. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, has refuted the claim of former Congressman Arnie Teves's lawyer that they still have the option of seeking political asylum to evade extradition. Dante Abento tells us why.
Former Congressman Arnie Teves's legal counsel, attorney Ferdinand Topacius, on Friday, June 28, that the process for the actual extradition of his client is far from reality. Aside from the fact that they can still appeal the grant of the Philippines extradition request, Topacius argued one of their options is the political asylum for Teves to evade the extradition.
According to the Timor-Leste lawyers, the process is still ongoing, and that there is a principle in their law that says that if there is a pending political asylum application, notwithstanding any extradition request, a person cannot be extradited.
However, Department of Justice Undersecretary Raul Vasquez stressed the political asylum bid of Teves had been denied by Timor-Leste. Hence, the DOJ believes he will be in the Philippines soon.
Yung political asylum was the first recourse that was availed of by former Congressman Arnie Teves. This was denied. They filed a motion for reconsideration. This was denied as well. So to our minds, as lawyers, that is the end of the rope on that particular aspect.
Vasquez further said that the Timorese police may arrest Teves anytime pending his actual extradition. Teves, now an illegal foreigner in Timor-Leste because he has no valid passport after the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs canceled the same.
Could you be arrested? It's up to the Timor-Leste authorities. Why? Because that person, subject of the extradition, is already an undocumented alien. It's now a question really of what do they have to do, and that's a policy decision on the part of Timor-Leste authorities, whether or not to arrest him for purposes of making sure that he won't slip out of Timor-Leste.
Dante Abento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The fingerprint evidence confirming that Mayor Alice Leal Guo and the Chinese national Guo Huaping are the same person provides sufficient grounds for the removal of suspended Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo from office, according to the former judge and current National Bureau of Investigation Director. Asher Kadapan Jr. will tell us why.
Suspended Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo may be removed from office due to the latest discovery about her identity. The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, has confirmed that Mayor Alice Leal Guo's fingerprints match those of the alleged Chinese national Guo Huaping. To qualify as a public official in the country, one must be a natural-born Filipino citizen. According to retired Judge Jaime Santiago, NBI director, this discovery could potentially lead to the mayor's removal from office.
Sa eye view ng batas ng court, conclusive evidence ito. Alam mo, ang co-warranto, yung bang na-appoint o na-elect ka sa isang position, kulang ka naman sa requirement required by law. O magiging kulang na siya sa Filipino citizenship. Co-warranto will prosper.
The NBI director further emphasized that the fingerprint match is conclusive, making it strong evidence.
Alam mo, ang fingerprinting, dactyloscopy, it is an infallible science of identification. Infallible, hindi nagkakamali. Conclusive yan. Alam mo, lagi ko na nga sinasabi, walang dalawang tao sa buong mundo na pareho ang fingerprint kahit kambal. So, conclusive yan.
The NBI also compared Go Waping's fingerprints taken on March 28, 2006 on an alien fingerprint card with those on Mayor Alice Go's clearance application dated March 10, 2021 and found them to match. They clarified that a person's fingerprints do not change even after 15 years.
Ngayon, kinumpare namin yung 2006 na fingerprint card ni Guo Waping Lin at ni Alice Guo Ilial, one and the same person. So, conclusive yan na yung Guo Waping Lin and Guo Alice is the same.
The NBI will continue to assist in the technical and forensic aspects of the investigation into Mayor Go's issue. Meanwhile, Go's lawyer Stephen David mentioned that it is too early to comment on the issue as they have yet to examine the documents and witnesses. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Authorities raided 5 residential villas at Fontana, Pampanga, suspected to be hiding places of Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO bosses from the raided illegal operations in Banban and Porac, Pampanga. 19 foreigners were apprehended during the raid. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Based on the search warrant issued by Regional Trial Court, Branch 8 of Malolos, Bulacan, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission or PAO and PNP operatives raided 5 residential villas at Fontana, Pampanga last night, June 27. It is suspected that foreign nationals who fled after raiding Lucky South 99 in Porac, Pampanga and Zone UN Technology in Bamban, Tarlac were hiding there. 19 foreign nationals and several Filipinos were found at the vicinity. Authorities inspected their documents to verify their legal status in the country.
Yung mga nakuwang 19 foreign nationals, kung sila ay kasama. Kasi ang report sa atin is dito nagtakbuhan yung mga foreign nationals na tumakas dito sa Banban at Porac POGO hubs.
Authorities failed to arrest Wang Ziyang of Zone UN Technology Incorporated, allegedly the business partner running illegal POGO operations in Bamban, Tarlac. Documents linked to alleged co-incorporators of Mayor Alice Guo of Baofu Land Development, Zhang Ruijin and Bao Yinglin were also obtained.
Hindi na natin dinatnan si Wang Ziyang, pero yung mga dokumento na nagsasabing itong mga convicted persons for money laundering in Singapore na nakakulong ngayon sa Singapore na sila Zhang Ruijin at si Ling Baoying ay nakita natin, may mga dokumento tayo nakita during the raid, yung mga resibo nila sa Fontana na si Zhang Ruijin till June 7, 2024 nagbabayad pa rin ng kanyang renta.
The two are currently detained in Singapore for money laundering charges. Authorities also found 18 vaults that possibly contained passports of foreign nationals. Meanwhile, according to the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, or PNP-CIDG, one of the Chinese big bosses of the POGO hub in Porac was reportedly among those arrested in the Fontana raid.
That is one of the informations that reach us. The other was they were able to escape Porac and they proceeded in these villas.
isa doon sa mga Chinese na nagtatago doon sa Clark Villas. Isa sa mga big bosses nung sa Porac. Ito pa sir yung Chinese na under investigation?
Yes, that's why we apply for the search warrant because he is one of our subjects.
The captured Chinese individual was turned over by CIDG to PAOK for questioning. The apprehended suspect will face charges for human trafficking and violation of the Access Device Act. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has suggested that while the intense phase of conflict in Gaza may be coming to a close, there remains the possibility of a prolonged campaign. Early Briones details why.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu indicated that the intense phase of fighting in Gaza is nearing an end, but a prolonged campaign may follow. This has involved significant civilian casualties and continued military operations. The current situation reflects ongoing developments over the past few months, with recent statements and actions occurring in late 2023. The conflict centers on Gaza, particularly the southern city of Rafah, with broader implications for Israel's northern border with Lebanon due to tension with Hezbollah. The Israeli government aims to severely degrade Hamas' capabilities and maintain the freedom to conduct military operations as needed. Netanyahu's strategy includes preparing for potential conflicts on multiple fronts and ensuring security against regional threats. The Israeli military has conducted ground offensives, airstrikes, and demolitions in Gaza, despite international opposition. The operations has involved heavy fighting, infrastructure destruction, and civilian casualties. Israeli officials discussed strategies with the U.S. for a less intensive but sustained phase of the campaign. The conflict in Gaza has seen daily strikes with no immediate prospect of a ceasefire. Netanyahu's strategy focuses on maintaining the ability to conduct military operations when necessary, even after troop withdrawals. Discussions in Washington between Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and U.S. officials have outlined a transition to a less intensive phase of the campaign, with an emphasis on strategic military and diplomatic preparations. Tensions on Israel's northern border with Lebanon have also escalated, with confrontations with Hezbollah raising concerns about a potential new conflict. Netanyahu has prioritized this front, visiting the border and observing military drills. The humanitarian situation in Gaza remains dire, with ongoing casualties and widespread destruction. Efforts toward a ceasefire have stalled, and there is no clear post-war plan. Netanyahu has suggested a future civilian administration for Gaza, potentially involving regional partners like Egypt and the UAE. Hostage families in Israel have increasingly criticized Netanyahu, accusing him of hindering a ceasefire and the release of hostages held by Hamas. Demonstrations have highlighted their frustration and the broader public's concern. While the third phase of Israel's campaign in Gaza may be less intense, there is no indication that the conflict will end soon. The prospects for a ceasefire, hostage release, and reconstruction in Gaza remain uncertain. Early Briones, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Hardeen.
Thank you, Kathy. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured that reforms will continue to be implemented to strengthen the country's tourism. PBBM also recognized the significant contribution of the tourism industry to the Philippine economy. Nelma Bohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vowed on Friday, June 28, to boost the country's education sector and promote sustainable development. During the opening ceremony of the 36th Joint Meeting of the United Nations Tourism Commission for East Asia and the Pacific and the UN Tourism Commission for South Asia in Cebu, President Marcos said education and sustainability are important aspects in promoting the tourism industry.
We need to raise the standards and practices in this crucial sector by investing in education, training, and skills upgrading of all the personnel who are working in this industry.
The President stressed the government also needs to ensure that environment protection should come hand in hand to promote tourism.
We need to adopt sustainability in our society and economy, and certainly in the sector of tourism. We must go green in the transformation of our tourism products and services as a solution to address climate change, resource preservation, and long-term industry sustainability.
President Marcos also noted the government is boosting the public-private partnership to pursue reforms that will make tourists visit, stay, spend, and return to the Philippines. Among these measures include easing visa access, enhancing water sanitation and healthcare facilities in major tourist destinations, and improving connectivity hubs such as airports. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A lawmaker and official of the House of Representatives is pushing for the imposition of imprisonment and perpetual disqualification for government officials who selectively choose the recipients of aid among their constituents. Some fellow countrymen agree with this proposal. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Nanay Ninita earns a living solely through scrap business. She is already 70 years old and has not received any assistance from the government.
Kusa lang pong loob na bigyan po ako. Wala akong asahan.
If some of our fellow countrymen are asked, they agree that government officials found guilty of selectively choosing aid recipients, especially during times of calamity or disaster, should be punished.
Dapat matanggal sila sa katungkulan kasi hindi sila nagiging tapat sa bayan.
Hindi naman pa pwede na basta na lang bibigyan porket kaibigan mo na hindi naman pala kabarangay nyo, halimbawa. So kung mapapunta na ganyan ang ginagawa ng ibang leader, hindi naman lahat, pwede sigurong bigyan nyo ng parusa or tanggalin sa pwesto.
Kailangan po sana ma-actionan, mabigyan ng pansin yung lahat ng mga ganong klase ng anomalya o halimbawa baka nasa sistema ba.
Currently, there's no existing law that penalizes government officials who selectively distribute aid during calamities. As a result, according to ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tulfo, House Deputy Majority Leader, complaints related to this issue are not being addressed.
Wala pong specifically na tumukoy pag namili ka ng bibigyan ng ayuda, kulong ka. Wala hong ganun sa anti-graft Specifically, ini-specify na ho natin sa resolution na ito, tulungan mo, it doesn't matter kung supporter mo o hindi, kailangan mo bigyan ng ayuda, especially kung yung ayuda na hawak mo is coming from the national government.
As a result, the lawmaker have introduced a proposed law aimed at imposing perpetual disqualification on government officials who selectively distribute aid to their constituents. Any public official found guilty of selectively and discriminatorily providing cash, livelihood, or relief assistance from local governments may face imprisonment ranging from 6 months to 1 year and perpetual disqualification.
6 months to 12 months imprisonment kapag napatunayan ka, tapos perpetual disqualification from holding any government position, be it elected or talagang sa government agencies. Hindi ka na po pwede for the rest of your life. From barangay kagawad, ma'am, all the way to hanggang congressman siguro. Kung mapapatunayan natin, senador siguro kung namimili siya.
Representative Tulfo further emphasized that this directly violates accountability and transparency in government service. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Transport Cooperative remarks that Euro 4 engine of modernized jeepneys are still efficient despite tag as obsolete in other countries. JP Nunez explains why.
Francisco Motor Corporation, which is decade-long in transport industry, remarks that Euro 4 engine in modern jeepneys are already obsolete. Its Chief Executive Officer, Elmer Francisco, suggests that engine of modernized public transports should be at least Euro 6 or fully electric type.
Sasabihin nila na environment-friendly Euro 4, edi subukan nating pahingahin sila dun sa tapat ng tambucho, di ba? So tingnan natin kung hindi sila magkasakit dyan, di ba? Or kung makahinga sila na maayos. Dahil kapag electric ang gamit natin, walang emission, wala talagang usok. Yan ang environment friendly.
However, to transport cooperative drivers, the Euro 4 engine of modernized jeepneys are still efficient.
Wala siyang usok. Maganda yung performance niya sa karsada. Nakikita po naman natin pag tumatakbo dyan na kahit biritan ng driver, talagang okay siya.
In a transport cooperative in Pandacan, Manila, their units of almost 60 are still having lesser carbon dioxide emission. Traditional jeepneys, which are having surplus engines, spewing dark smoke.
Yung traditional kasi, may injection pump na tinatawag. Doon parang doon na dumadaan yung diesel niya, papunta ron sa nozzle. Hindi kagaya nito, pagkagaling sa niya, diretso na sa injector, pagkagaling sa tangke. Kung tawagin yon, direct injection.
UNTV News tried to get a statement from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR on the standard of engines, but they did not give their response yet. JP Nunez, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In preparation for the big one, the Office of Civil Defense recently coordinated another nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill for the second quarter of the year. Various government agencies, along with private groups like UNTV News and Rescue, participated actively in the drill. Jed Neresina will tell us why.
The Office of Civil Defense or OCD conducted on Friday, June 28, the second quarter simulation aimed at preparing everyone for feared 7.2 magnitude earthquake, also known as the Big One. The earthquake drill took place simultaneously across different parts of the country, involving various government agencies and private groups. According to Teresito Bacolcol, director of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PVOX, simultaneous earthquake drills are crucial not only for training rescuers and response teams, but also for educating the public.
Kailangan talaga natin seryosohin because earthquake drills like what we did earlier, earthquake drills build muscle memory. So nagiging habit forming and alam kaagad natin anong gagawin natin if there is an actual event.
Assistant Secretary Bernardo Rafael Alejandro IV of the OCD emphasized that while readiness for the big one cannot be guaranteed, ongoing training and immediate response plans are being implemented in collaboration with other government agencies.
Nobody can really say that we are ready, but we are preparing ourselves to be ready when the time comes. So nakita nyo, meron na tayong mga responding units, nagtatayuan na yung ating mga LGUs ng mga training centers kagaya nito to train not only the responders but also educate.
The OCD highlighted that the quarterly nationwide simultaneous earthquake drills will continue to ensure that everyone remains prepared and knows what to do when faced with a major earthquake. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The local government unit of San Juan City limits water dousing of next Wata Wata festivals. Meanwhile, a delivery rider files formal complaint due to harassment of the residents celebrating the feast. Asha Kadapan Jr. explains why.
Several commuters complained about harassment by residents of San Juan City celebrating the Wada Wada Festival last Monday, June 24. Despite existing ordinance expressing prohibitions, viral videos show people dousing water to commuters, even forcing to open private or public vehicles traversing the area. Some complaints of damages in properties, particularly cellular phones and even laptops. Adamant maintaining peace and orderliness during the feast, San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora plans to pass another ordinance limiting the water dousing activities only to a designated street.
Magde-designate na lang po tayo ng isang basaan zone within the pinaglabanan area. No? So ito po yung kahabaan ng ating pinaglabanan road mula dito sa may Domingo hanggang sa P. Guevara. Sa mga susunod na taon, dito na lang po natin gagawin ang ating basaan. So,
Mayor Zamora appeals to the victims of harassment related to the festival to file formal complaint to apprehend violators. On Friday, June 28, a delivery rider was assisted to file a complaint against a resident who doused water and hit him while transporting documents as part of his job.
Pagkabasa niya po sa akin, napamura po ako kasi nabasa yung cellphone ko. Pagkatapos po nun, ayun na po, inampas pa ako dito sa ulo. Pagkatapos na po ang hampasin sa ulo, umalis na siya. Tapos yung ibang mga tao po doon, pinagbabasa na po ako ng tubig.
Meanwhile, Senator J.V. Ejercito, former mayor of San Juan City, called the incidents a failure of leadership, lacking preparedness and reminders despite efforts in conceptualizing and controlling the Wada Wada Festival. But the incumbent mayor says these incidents have been happening even during the previous administration.
Alam niyo naman po, expected naman po yan na wala naman hong magandang sasabihin si Senator Ejercito tungkol sa makabagong San Juan. Expected naman po yan. Number one, these are isolated incidents. No? At kahit naman po ng mga nakarang administrasyon dito sa San Juan, nangyayari na po yan. Alam naman niya yan.
Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The PNP Lady Patrollers and the AFP Lady Gunner have advanced to the finals after both teams secured a 2-0 lead in the best-of-3 series during the semifinal round of the UNTV Volleyball League Season 2 in Paco, Manila. Meanwhile, the BFP Lady Firefighters and the Complex Suffragettes will face off to determine the third and fourth place in this League of Public Servants. JP Nunez reports.
In the first game, the PNP Lady Patrollers triumphed over the BFP Lady Firefighters in a 3-1 set match. In the first set, the PNP Lady Patrollers closely guarded the attacks of Diaz, Adolfo, Mamangun, and Bentic with strong net defense from Oliveros and Gomez, securing the set with a score of 25-23. The second set saw the Lady Firefighters fighting back with explosive attacks from Abellana, Mamangun, Diaz, and Bentic, winning the set 22-25. By the fourth set, the Lady Firefighters had lost momentum. Excellent sets by Bangcola and quick attacks by Oliveros, along with cross-court attacks by Gomez and Ronquillo, led the Lady Patrollers to take the third set 25-12. The best player of the game was Cristel Etucas, who contributed 9 attacks, 4 blocks, and 2 aces.
Yun nga, focus lang kami sa game. Pag pag may mali, never mind lang, move on. Then, one at a time lang, score lang, wag magmadali para hindi kami mawala sa focus.
The PNP Lady Patrollers secured their spot in the finals, recording 41 attacks, 5 blocks, and 10 service aces.
Tiwala lang ako sa mga player ko. Sabi ko, huwag kayong bumigay kasi sayang pinaghirapan natin. Itong kakamit nilang makapasok sa finals. Wala, yung masasabi ko lang, pasalamat ako sa mga coaching staff ko na sa pag-effort nila na sa pagpalit ng mga posisyon ng mga player ko, naging effective po siya. Kaya tayo nakuha namin yung papasok sa final.
In the second game, the AFP Lady Gunner defeated the Comelec Suffragettes in 3 consecutive sets. From the first set, Abil and Jendrauli of the Comelec Suffragettes clashed with the AFP Lady Gunner. But the Lady Gunners' defense against power attacks from Yonko and Madulid secured the first set 25-17. In the second set, relentless explosive attacks from Mabayad, Pantino, and Jack led the Lady Gunner to win the second set 25-21. In the third set, coordinated offensive blockings, Yonko, Madulid, and Jack against attacks from Jendrauli and Abil allowed the Lady Gunner to take the final set 25-15. The best player of the game was Yari Yonko of the AFP Lady Gunner with 16 attacks, 2 blocks, and 1 service ace.
Sa amin naman po kasi kung sino man po naging best player, talagang pinaghihirapan din po talaga. And also di naman din po kami magiging best player kung di po gumagana lahat, like receive at saka sa set. Yun po, lahat naman din po. Para sa akin naman po, pag best player ako, lahat naman din po best player para sa akin.
The AFP Lady Gunner have also secured their spot in the final round, recording 38 attacks, 5 blocks, and 5 aces.
Ayun, happy ako kasi yung tinuturo namin sa kanila sa practice, na-apply talaga nila. So, yun, kapag sumusunod naman sila, so magiging smooth talaga yung laro.
Meanwhile, stay tuned for the next thrilling matchups in the Public Servants League on Win in Sports, Win for Charity on July 7, 2024, Sunday at Paco Arena in Manila. The BFP Lady Firefighters will face the Comelec Suffragettes for the 3rd and 4th place in the first game at 12 noon. This will be followed by the showdown between the AFP Lady Gunner and the PNP Lady Patrollers in Game 1 of the Best of 3 series finals at 2 p.m. You can watch the games live on the UNTV News and Rescue YouTube account and UNTV Sports. JP Nunez, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A lawmaker believes the fingerprint match result of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, is a solid evidence against suspended Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Rison Tevero showed a copy of the NBI comparative examination and analysis report of the fingerprints of Mayor Guo and Chinese national Guo Huaping conducted on June 25 to 27. It found that the fingerprints were identical and affixed by one and the same person. For Hontiveros, this will result to serious consequences for Guo, including a string of cases. The opposition lawmaker, together with Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, urged the Office of the Solicitor General to expedite its filing of quo warranto case against Guo to remove her as mayor.
Palagay ko wala nang lusot kapag ang NBI nagsabi na itong set of fingerprints ng isang pangalan at itong set of fingerprints ng iba pang pangalan ay magkapareho, finger by finger, logical na conclusion led by the NBI na iisang tao lamang ito. Kung ang kaso na inaharap natin ay isang Chinese national who posed as a Filipino para makakuha ng isang elective office at kasabay pa niyan nag-identity theft ng isang Pilipina para mabigyan ng cover ang mga POGO sa kanilang iba't ibang mga criminal activities. Kung ma-convict siya, she will have to serve time here in the Philippines.
In a statement, Guo's legal counsel, attorney Stephen David, says it is too early to comment on the NBI results as they do not have the opportunity to examine the document and its sources. David adds they will comment on the issue in court where these documents are expected to be used.
And in other global news, United States President Joe Biden and his Republican rival Donald Trump met for their first debate on Thursday night, June 27, giving voters a rare side-by-side comparison of two oldest candidates ever to seek the U.S. presidency. The 90-minute televised debate occurred more than 4 months before the November 5 election day, significantly earlier than usual. The debate proceeded without an audience and candidates were restricted to using only pen and paper. This historic debate aimed to showcase the candidates' command of issues, with both striving to avoid verbal missteps. White House officials cited that the president had a cold, potentially affecting his performance. Trump, who faces multiple criminal cases, including those related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, aimed to convince undecided voters that he is not a threat to democracy, contrary to Biden's claims. The second and final debate is scheduled for September. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Kathy Navarro, live from Qatar.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 11, it says, "Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it." And those are the reasons behind the news, June 28, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.